morning. Welcome to Distance Learning, year 2020-2021. I am so excited that I am with 3, 4, 5, and 6 grades this year. It's going to be super fun. We have a lot of new things planned. We are going to learn a lot of different tech skills, me included, and we're going to spend a ton of time face-to-face in the virtual world, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun with lots more information to come. I want to start our year off with one of my favorite stories that I start every year in my classroom. So if you are a 6th grader, you heard the story last year, but it's really good to refresh it. I love the message in it. I will begin this morning reading the story. I will then explain your first assignment, which is pretty fun, and you'll be able to share it with your class, your distance learning class. So the kids that are all in 3rd grade will share their assignment when we meet later this week on a Google Meet. So more information will follow. Your parents have a schedule, and you should have gotten a schedule in your email also for these first 3 days, okay? And we're gonna start with our story, and then we'll talk more after. Each Kindness, Jacqueline Woodson. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her, and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled, but I didn't smile back. I moved my chair, myself, and my books a little farther away from her. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow, and every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us the shiny Jackson tiny red ball she'd gotten for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said, but none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who the new Jax champion of the world is." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school. A deck of cards, pickup sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed, grass began growing where snow had once been. One day Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes, but the shoes and the dress looked like they belonged to another girl before Maya. "I have a new name for her," Kendra whispered. "Never knew. Everything she has come from a secondhand store." We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to us to ask us if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each other, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once, just jumped and jumped and jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Miss Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out away from the stone. "This is what kindness does," Miss Albert said. Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple in the world. Then Mrs. Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said, and Miss Albert said it was true. I stood there holding Miss Albert's rock in my hand, silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently, but I couldn't think of anything, and passed the stone on. Maya didn't come to school the next day, or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned, and she looked at me and smiled. I promised myself this would be the day I'd smile back. Each kindness, Miss Albert had said, makes the whole world a little bit better. But Maya's seat remained empty, and one day Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Miss Albert said. Then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, like each kindness done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more forever gone. The end. Your first assignment is to take a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, or lined paper, whatever you may have, and you need to draw one way. What's one thing or one way you show kindness at your house with your family? Okay, what is one thing that you continuously do to show your family that you're kind, you care? Okay, because we're all learning from home this year, it's really important to make sure, even though there might be stressful times or we're spending a lot of time doing schoolwork in a place that normally we don't do a ton of schoolwork, we need to make sure that we're still being kind regardless. Also, when we are on our Google Meets and virtually meeting with each other, which is going to be quite often, a lot this year. These first 3 days, not so much, but starting next week, you'll be on with me at least twice a day, except for Wednesdays, okay? So I'm super excited about that. But make a poster. Tell me, what are you doing to show kindness to your family regularly? Okay? You can draw, you can write. You decide what you want to do on a piece of paper. You can use markers, colored pencils, whatever you want. You are going to be sharing that later this week when we meet as a grade level in your Google Meet. Your schedule will reflect, if you're third grade, what time you're going to join, fourth grade, what time, and so on. Okay? Some of you will be tomorrow, some of you won't be until Friday, but you will be sharing your kindness picture or writing, whether you want to just hold it up in front of the screen or talk about it. It's going to be up to you. Okay? Great. Well, you clicked on this link in order to see the read aloud video, which was in your email. Awesome. There are other links in your email. Your schedule, if you haven't opened that yet, that is in there. So make sure you look at everything in that morning email. That morning email is so important, okay? You will get one of those each and every morning. Your schedule, though, will only come in your email at the beginning of the week, okay? If you delete it accidentally, I can always send you another one, so you can let me know. Okay, that's it for now. We'll talk more in the next video of me, okay? You also probably noticed I was in the library at school. I won't always be, actually most often I will be at home in my home office, okay? So even though I'm in the library at school right now, that won't be the case normally, okay? So we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.